Okay, so this is the third time I'm trying to record this and upload it from my computer. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do the ruffle petal for I call it a ruffle petal cake. It's a 5-petal cutter ruffled up. Anyway, you're going to need a 5-petal cutter. There's a 4-pack on Amazon. It gives you small, medium, larger, and large. I use the largest one of those. You're going to want to have one that actually has the petal shape cut out. You can get the Wilton ones. They just don't have the petal shape actually cut out. It just has the little loops. So you have to snip each petal so that it gives you an extra step. It's not that big of a deal. That's how I started doing it, but I find it easier just to have this cutter instead. So you can do whatever size petal you want. You're going to want a water pen or a brush that you can dip in water and use it. I like to have a small angled spatula, your roller, little foam thing, your softening tools. I like to get the metal ones. You can find these online or at Joann's. There's 3 different sizes of these. You're going to need one of these that you can cover up your gum paste with. And then I like to get a large piece of foam from Hobby Lobby is where I got this one, so craft store. Alright, so what I'm going to do is show you how to do it. So you roll your gum paste really thin. If you have a KitchenAid attachment or a pasta roller, I like to roll mine on a 5 or a 6. Right now I'm just doing it by hand just to show you. You're going to want to be able to somewhat see the lines from below through your gum paste. That's kind of how you're going to be able to tell. So you're just going to cut it out. Try to get the cleanest edge you can. If your gum paste is moist enough, usually it will not leave little edges, torn edges to show, but mine has gotten those edges. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. I like to lift these up so you can kind of see. You just pat that in so that they don't have that much of a roughed edge. It just looks more finished on your cake if you do this instead of leaving those little roughed up parts. Sometimes you can't tell, but for the bigger ones, you want to finish it off. Once you have that cut, you throw it under here so that it doesn't dry out. Now, when I'm doing a whole petal cake or a whole bottom of a cake is going to be petal or whatever tier you're going to do it, I like to cut out a whole bunch of the flowers and then I start doing the other parts of it. Steps, that's the right word. The other steps to it. My daughter's over here helping me out, eating her salad, I guess. Anyway, so you do the other steps after you cut this out. I find it to be easier. So now, since it's a tutorial, I'm just going to show you now. So you get your little foam piece, or you can use the foam at the craft store. Put your petal down, get the largest balling tool. You go about halfway on the petal and soften it. It doesn't have to be super rippled or anything like that. You just want to soften the edge so that it's not super thick. Put that to the side. Do the same thing to your second petal. Now again, you would have a whole bunch of these cut out. It's quite a process. The first time I did it, since I didn't have the petal cutter that actually cut the petals and I had to snip everything, I think it took me about 6 hours to make it for a whole bottom tier. Alright, so you're going to get your water pen or your brush and you're just going to dab the center with water. You don't want it to go too crazy because you don't want water leaking everywhere. And you're going to set the petal on top opposite so that you can see each little round edge of the petal like this. Then all you have to do, you can put a little bit of water on the inside if you want so it sticks together better, but I usually don't. You just kind of dip it into itself, fold it into itself, and it gives you that petal look. Now when all these are sitting together on a cake, it looks very, very pretty, I think. Here's another one that I made earlier that's starting to harden up, so they would just be right next to each other. Whatever color you're going to do for the flowers is the same color you're going to want your background fondant to be, so whatever you're covering your fondant, your cake and fondant, that same color is going to be needed for these flowers because they're not going to be perfectly together. You're going to be able to see through them, so you don't want a purple flower with white showing behind it. You want it to be all purple. To attach them, I use melting chocolate, so you can get the chocolate that you would use to make cake pops or whatever other stuff, chocolate covered pretzels, things like that. And you would just dip the end that would attach to the cake, which looks like this. Usually it's pinched, and you dip that in there and then you attach it to the fondant on the cake. So you just hold it there until it sets up. And that's pretty much it. You just continue on and do that the whole time. Now once you get your petals done, I'm backtracking a little bit here. Once you get them done and two attached, to each other and folded, then you just set them on this piece of foam and you continue on and you'll have this like whole piece covered. You always want to make a little bit more because sometimes they do break, and even when you have a petal break off, you can either reattach it with chocolate or sometimes it's not even noticeable. If I can figure out how to edit a photo into this, I'll try to edit the photo in as the petal cake from my Facebook page. I probably can't do it because I'm not super technical, so you guys can go check out my Facebook page and look at some of the cakes that I have that would show you what this looks like. Other than that, I think that's all I was going to tell you or show you. If you guys have any questions, comment below, or you can always message me on Facebook. And I hope you like this tutorial. See ya!